One, two. Hi everyone, it's been a while since I have made any videos. That's only because I've been quite busy, and then followed by cold and flu, and I'm still recovering from the cold and flu, so I don't have a good voice at the moment to do any videos, because to do any videos of tips and ideas and techniques and so on, there'll be lots of editing nightmare with lots of excuse me, coughing and so on. So I will be making new videos quite soon, and as soon as I recover. So I thought I'll do a live stream to you guys, see where things are at. If anybody has any questions, then I'll be able to sort of answer them. So feel free to comment on your right hand side in the chat, and I'll be able to try to answer them for you. And in the meantime, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that are currently on my channel, and you can always leave a comment on my YouTube channel discussion page as well, if there's any particular topic you'd like me to cover in the future. So that way I cover things that interest you guys. So yeah, so this is an open mic live question session, so I don't know how long I will be able to keep it going. I guess as long as I can. I might actually close the door behind me. There's also quite a few new projects that I have taken on board now, which I will share very soon. It's still initial stages, so I won't be talking about it yet, but very soon I will reveal some of the new projects that I'm working on. Is it morning there? No, it is actually about 7 o'clock at night on a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Thanks for joining me, Go Batarak TV. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask me, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. You know, whether if it's on PreSonus Studio One Prime, the free version, or the full version, whichever version you have. If you have any questions on Cakewalk Sonar or Music Creator 7, Cubase Element 8, so any one of those, if you are using any DAW you are using, feel free to ask any questions. And also, if you have any question in regards to any of the gears that I have, if you'd like to find out a few things about it, please feel free to ask me as well. And at this time of the day, the internet is not good, so my stream is quite always showing yellow, so it's not green, so it's not at the highest rating, but I'm hoping that it'll be fine. I still have a bit of a croaky voice, and I'll try to Hopefully it's clear enough for you to understand me. Oh, here we go. We got a question. Can you give the best advice for beginning recording? Yes, the best advice is take your time, practice, and use what you have. A lot of people I see, they sort of always, when with on my videos asking questions, a lot of times, what do I need? What do I get? What equipment I need to use? A lot of time you can actually do and practice recording with whatever you have. It's really important. Now, all of the gear that you see in my studio, and some of it are here, and some of it are still in my garage, and I'll bring it out every now and then. All of those gears I have accumulated over quite a few years, probably like 10 years. You might see me saying, oh, I got this new gear, I got this new gear, I got this new gear. That's only because I'm either working on a certain project and I need a gear, so I know that when I buy that gear, I'm actually already made the money that paid for that. So I don't get anything free. So I have to point that out. I don't get anything free, and don't expect anything free, and don't expect any music shop or whoever to give you anything free. So buy what you can and work on it. Make sure that you know how to use what you have. It's really easy to go overboard and buy the things that you don't need. I actually had someone buy probably over $1,000 of gear to do podcasting, and I said, oh, you only really need to spend maybe a couple $100 to get really professional sounding. That includes the mic, the audio interface, and everything else you need. Less than a couple $100 to do your podcasting. So he had gone into a music shop, and the guy over there said, oh wow, what a sucker, let's sell him a tube preamp and this interface and that compressor, that thing that he didn't need at all. So I actually advised him to take them all back and get a refund. I hope he did. So he's okay. So you're using a microphone, Xenix 302 USB, mic XM8500. So yeah, that's what you have there already. Is really plenty to start doing the recording. All you need is one microphone, an audio interface, even the Behringer Xenix 302 USB, and a decent computer or laptop, reasonable, and then away you go. You can actually do lots of recording. I have done recording of a whole album using a microphone and line input using my Xenix Q502 USB. So it's really, you don't really need much. And even in DAWs, you can even do, as I have demonstrated, the PreSonus Studio One Prime, the free DAW, or there's a few other free DAWs out there as well, or really a really cheap one that will do so much is Reaper. It's only about $60 US, 60 or 70 US dollars, and it will do everything you want to do, everything. So really, you don't need to spend much. So minimal is really the way to go, and learn what you have. Learn what you have. Master what you got, so that you can do miracles. You can really be creative in what you know how to use. There's no point of getting this, thousands and thousands of dollars of gear, compressors, EQs, and audio interfaces, and everything else. But if you don't know how to use them, it's really not worth it. What's the best setting for that gear? Not sure what you mean. The best settings would be is using your ears. A lot of times, you know, we get, because we got all these graphical interfaces and VST plugins in our DAW. A lot of times we just use the graphics to adjust our sound, but try to avoid adjusting settings using graphics only. Graphics are really great, they will give you some guidance, but you really need to close your eyes and listen to the sound. If that's the sound that you want, then that's the correct setting. There is no real correct setting. A lot of times, let's say if I'm recording an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar, depending what the guitar player is actually wants the sound, how he wants it, I adjust the settings. He says, yeah, I like that sound, that's really nice sound, and then I say, okay, perfect, that's the setting to record with. And later on I might tweak a little bit more to fit that instrument in the audio spectrum and on the stage of the mix. So if I've got a guitar which got lots of low end and it's actually overpowering the bass guitar or the snare and so on, I try to trim them off to give room for one or the other. So there is no real setting of, oh, this is how you set your gear. You know, make sure your compression is, you know, 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 for vocals, or this one's such and such for whatever setting. It all depends what you really want to get the sound. A lot of times just experiment with it. You know, if you're recording a vocalist, as the vocalist is singing, just adjust the settings. Or if it's you that's recording and doing and singing at the same time, so what you do is just record it with no setting, bypass, record it, and then play it back, and then adjust the settings until you are happy with your voice. So that's how you really work things out, because no two vocalists are the same. You know, my settings for my vocal when I'm singing and recording is different to the next person that I've recorded. I hope that makes sense, because they all have different range, they have different tonality, different feelings, so you really need to capture those. So sit down while they're practicing their singing, you know, adjust the settings on whether it's a VST plugin or actual hardware, adjust them until you get the sound that you want, and then write it down. You say, okay, for him these are the settings that I really like when he's singing the vocals. Or if it's a guitar player, write it down saying this is a good setting, so whenever he plays the guitar, his acoustic guitar, these are the settings I like on my compressor, on my EQ, and so on. And these are the settings for his electric guitar or the bass guitar, and so on. And then you write them down, so next time they come in, you know the settings that you've done for the next song, you know the settings that you've done previously, you dial those settings and let him play again to see if you need to adjust, tweaks and bits. So that's basically how I set things. There is no real setup. I mean, you may find in VST plugins a lot of default settings that will, you know, it will have certain templates that will come in. You select it, and it will adjust all of the settings to, let's say, for a rock guitar or bass guitar or acoustic guitar. They are just guidelines to help you, sort of guide you how to do it. I would still not leave it as default. I would still go in and change it until I'm happy with the outcome of the sound. I hope that explains the question. I know it was a short question, but a bit hard to explain. You know, it's a matter of just practicing and practicing and keep adjusting it until you get it right, and it takes time. So a lot of things takes time. You know, I've been recording music for the past 28 years. In November will be 28 years. So it's a long time to do things, record it, and now I'm passing all that information and ideas and things to everyone. I hope. Yep. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope that helped. Yeah, I hope that answered the question you were asking. So, yeah. And these days, it's quite easy to get a professional sounding song recorded without spending a lot of money. Really. If you look at it, see this one. There we go. This is the Yamaha AG03, which is about $200, and it does everything that you ever wanted to do to record your song. Unless you're recording a live band, obviously you need more than one microphone input. But if you're doing, like myself, a keyboard or electronic music using your DAW, and all you need is a microphone to record your guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, rhythm guitar, or even bass guitar if you're doing that far, and your vocals, you can still, because you're recording track at a time, you're not recording all at once, so even that will get you going. So, and it's got all of the features that you need to start it. Or even the my Xenix Q502. So I've got the Xenix Q502 here as well. So that's what I use. That's what I used to use before, and that even that it's got enough inputs and if enough options and audio USB being transferred to be able to do any recording you like. H4n. Yes, the Zoom H4n. That's the handheld one. I don't have any of the Zoom audio recordings. They will do if you want to record live recording and you're not really into multi-track recording. I guess you sort of could, but I prefer to have a microphone and audio interface connected to a PC or laptop or MacBook or whatever you have, because it allows you to grow. If you have the Zoom, that means you are stuck with the microphones. I think normally they are X microphones. Then then you're stuck with those. But if you spend the money and actually get an audio interface and then even a cheap microphone, you can always upgrade your microphone to a better one, or for different purposes. So maybe a microphone for to put in front of the guitar amp, like the SM57, and then use another condenser microphone for your vocals. So you can see you can really expand being stuck into just those, XY microphones of the Zoom H4n. Yeah, they're very good if you just want to record live, everybody playing in the room, but other than that, you are limited to the microphone on the Zoom. Hope that answers that question too. Just a quick question. Go Batarak TV. Just wondering, where are you from? So, whereabouts are you watching from? I've lost. Oh, I'm losing connections left, right, and center. I have a really bad internet. I guess it's the time of the day. It's really bad. I might actually try